The Dunning-Kruger effect. Those who possess little to no understanding on a subject, but do possess a paranoid mind, are oft the same individuals who strongly defend conspiracy. Today, Mr. Chris Archer posted a video in which he addresses something in which I had stated previously, something of which someone with a logical mind would take heed to, so let's go ahead and respond.
This video is going out to Michael Warner.
Hi Chris, thanks for having me on the show.
Special. The one that told me stop doing these reptilian videos, so this is for you, Mike. First off, I want you to take a look at the representation of the Masons all the time in the back.
Sure, let's take a closer look at this. What you have in the shot here is the seal of the United States Secret Service, which is an arm of the United States Department of Homeland Security, and this is put on a service commendation plaque to give to a former Secret Service officer in recognition of their service to the President. The seal shown here, according to secretservice.gov, represents the following. The star, which was used since its inception in 1875, is a symbolism for the agency's core values: justice, duty, courage, honesty, and loyalty. On top of it, in the center, is a 17th century French-style escutcheon, otherwise known as a shield. The escutcheon is symbolic of an achievement of arms, in other words, a symbol of protection. Immediately below that is a decagon. A decagon is a symbol of attainment. Sitting between the star and the decagon are two overlapping hexagons, which are both symbolic of harmony, structure, stability, and balance. Now, this definitely sounds like it symbolizes the role of the Secret Service, which is to attain protection based upon the foundation of justice, duty, courage, honesty, and loyalty, while at the same time being buffered with the concepts of harmony, structure, stability, and balance. So it begs the question, where's the Masonic representation within this? Sure, Freemasonry features stars, but I believe your bias towards the concept of the presence of Freemasons within the US government is skewing your perception here a bit. Remember, both Christianity and Judaism utilizes the star as a form of symbolism, not just Satanism, Wicca, or Freemasonry. Within Christianity, the five-pointed star is a symbol of Jesus himself. Numbers 24:17 even states, "I see him, but not now. I behold him, but not near. A star will come out of Jacob. A scepter will rise out of Israel." That said, this plaque recognized Jonathan Wackrow's career as a Secret Service agent within the New York field office.
Okay. The New York field office of the Central Intelligence Agency, I guess, or the FBI, one or the other.
It's neither. Again, that's the Secret Service seal.
Okay, so let's take a look at this agent, and what you're going to see is this whole outline. Everything on his body is going to manifest and transmit this reptilian energy right through the broadcast. Watch this. So we already know this is every time we see it. There's his name, Jonathan D. Wacknow. Well, he's whacked now, that's for sure, so watch this.
Jonathan Wackrow is a law enforcement analyst for CNN and is also the managing director and global head of security for Teneo, an advisory firm wherein he provides security risk assessments.
We'll just let it go, and then we're going to stop it.
This overwhelming public health crisis. Florida has over 4,000 deaths. I mean, their medical system is being...
See how they move the camera around, guys. Are you seeing this?
The only camera being moved around is yours. Mr. Wackrow's camera, which is most likely either a webcam on his personal or business laptop, or even one on a tripod-mounted phone, and that's what's being used for IP video conferencing. This is most certainly not going to be the same type of camera used as, say, what's used in the newsroom.
Hope you understand what's going on. The people understand what's going on.
What's really going on is an unstable IP video stream that's suffering a bandwidth issue either from Mr. Wackrow's upload speed due to a weak Wi-Fi or cellular data signal, or there is network congestion somewhere between Mr. Wackrow and CNN. This can be evidenced by the present artifacting and jittering of the video stream, whether it's due to low signal strength or network congestion either on Mr. Wackrow's uplink or CNN's downlink. I don't know, but that detail doesn't exactly matter in this case. What does matter is that there's not enough available bandwidth for a video stream which is both fluid and without errors. I believe I can provide a better suited explanation to answer what's really happening here. In speaking in fairly technical terms, videos using compression codecs such as H.264, H.265, and MPEG are optimized by minimizing changes of a single frame without taking error propagation into consideration. Error propagation is a common issue in video compression and playback, mainly due to interprediction. It is obvious that the peak signal-to-noise ratio drops when a time step increase occurs. A possible explanation is that video compression is a lossy procedure, and the encoding procedure of the current frame relies upon the previous reconstructed frame, which is distorted, and thus the error propagates to the subsequent frames. Another cause of error propagation in a digital video signal is due to the loss of interframes, which also creates video artifacting, especially in such low bandwidth streaming situations. YouTuber Dionix12 has created a video showing this very anomaly occurring by his own doing, of which I will show now.
What are interframes? Here's a 3-second video of myself walking across the screen at 30 frames per second. In total, that's 90 frames. Let's render one green solid frame in front of the video and it should still look pretty normal. Importing the video into AVI-Demux, we can see that the green solid is an iframe, the first frame of my 3-second video is an iframe, and the rest are P or B frames. Now what would happen if I deleted the iframe from my 3-second video and rendered it out like that? As you can see, most of the pixels around me stayed green, while the pixels of me stayed somewhat normal. So why is this happening? Iframes carry 100% of the frame pixel data and are usually the first frame of a new cut. P-frames carry around 50% of the data compared to an interframe, and B-frames carry around 25% of the pixel data. This is why future frames almost never make their predictions off of B-frames. When we deleted the interframe, the next frame predicted 25% of its pixel data from the green solid iframe, and the rest of the frames made their predictions based off of previous frames. The reason we have prediction frames is because rather than having all 90 frames hold all of their pixel data, we can cut most down to less than 50% of the size. The raw size of one uncompressed 720p frame is 1.38 megabytes. If every frame held all of its data, my 3-second video would end up being 124.2 megabytes in size. But thanks to the power of video compression, the actual file size is only 4.55 megabytes. Imagine trying to stream an hour movie that's 149 gigabytes in size. With my internet, I'd never watch Netflix again. So next time you stream a movie during a thunderstorm and you see this happen, you'll know it's because somewhere out there, a poor, lonely iframe was unable to make it to you in time.
Now, keep in mind, I'm not even 2 minutes into your video, and I've already explained in detail and have provided proof why what you are referring to as reptilian shapeshifting is nothing more than a problem with the video feed. And it just so happens that the video conferencing software they're using utilizes an open source implementation of the H.264 codec for video encoding, meaning that what I've previously stated applies. And that's why I've stated, for the sake of the people doing real research in this subject matter, please stop using this stuff. As in, unless you can actually provide real proof of reptilian shapeshifting from something other than media which is prone to artifacting, ideally with video that you have recorded yourself with equipment that you yourself own or have borrowed, stop. Such actions are a disservice to those actually putting in the real legwork and not relying on poorly encoded video, and all it's doing is making anything else you say further subjected to skepticism. Continuing.
They're directing this. They moved the camera around.
When you have this,
They do this all the time. They'll split the screen when he starts to do a little bit of shifting. If he completely shifts, they'll just take him off the screen.
Is being taxed. Their first responders are being taxed every single day. So to bring the president into that environment, one, again, it goes to the risk that we just talked about, the exposure and transmission, but also it puts that significant strain on.
He's going to ask him one more question, and then that's going to be the end of this guy. So this is the NSA, that's what this is.
Nothing more than a speculative statement based upon conjecture entangled in a conspiracy theory.
Okay, so after he's done asking this question, watch this. There it is. Oh, stop.
If you could, please refer back to the previous statement that I made about how video artifacting occurs.
We didn't even get into it. Hold on. So what you're seeing is flashing. This is stacking. We call this flashing. I used to call this flashing. What happens is the sequence of commands gets stuck, and this is like a screen. And what happens is it's stacking. It keeps going. It wants to keep going, but the sequence of the algorithm or something that they use. And look in the back here. I want you to see something. Do you see the dome building? And I've been trying to tell people this. There's three sections to it. You see it?
I hate to break it to you. That's the top of the United States Capitol building. Yes, the dome was constructed in 3 sections. Tall buildings oftentimes are constructed floor by floor or section by section.
1, 2, 3. That's the building that I believe that was inserted underneath the firmament that was created by Lucifer.
The dome was designed by architect Thomas Walker in the early 1800s to make the Capitol building more proportional due to its necessary expansion as a result of new states being added to the Union. The design of the dome draws inspiration from French and Roman architecture. A quick search online or a quick drive to your local library reveals that.
I believe this to be the building. And they're on the outside. Up in this blue part, they're on the outside of this, and they come in. That's what I was telling people. I was trying to get you to see the shape of this building and how I believe that's an insert.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Mr. Archer really doesn't have much of anything left to add. If you wish to see the video, links in the description. Have a good day.